Hey, what is going on, everyone? And welcome back to another stream. So, I was supposed to play a little bit of well, I wasn't going to play Arknights Endfield today. I probably won't play much because it's going to be more of a talking live stream. Well, I'm going to be voicing my opinion on all the shit that is going on. Not drama specific, obviously. Or focusing on anyone. Well, maybe I'll reference like someone a bunch of times because they are the biggest CC talking about it, but it's not about them specifically. And well, I kinda started this without really a plan. Kinda just wanted to talk about the gacha game state in
my
general.
eyes peeled for an opening.
We'll see this through. Melting flame!
In which I think that a lot of people are, well, though they are complaining about the state of Arknights Endfield, I don't think they're being honest. Does Endfield have problems? Yeah, absolutely. But I don't think people are trying to like the game. I think people are actually actively trying to find stuff in the game to hate. And everyone can see that from the way they look at things when talking about Endfield. And then they go on to talk about their favorite game like it doesn't have the same exact problems. And that's what pisses me off. Because Endfield has been getting a lot of hate. A lot of hate. From pretty much every community, but mostly from a loud minority of the Wuthering Waves community. And I find it funny because it reminds me of the release of Wuthering Waves. And I would think that WoA players wouldn't want other communities to experience what they have experienced when Wuthering Waves launched. When Wuthering Waves launched, like, sure, the game had a lot of problems. A lot more problems than Endfield has currently. Oops. But people that play the game still enjoyed the game and they wanted the game to improve, and they stuck with it. They didn't want people shitting on the game for the sake of shitting on the game. Sure, you could voice your opinion and think what you and say what you think about it in a way that, well, I don't like this, I don't like that. But the way people were shit talking Wuthering Waves at the time wasn't really a justified hate. The game had a lot of problems, but a lot of the hate weren't even focusing on those problems. They were just trashing the game for trashing the game. And at the time, it was a loud Hoyoverse fan base minority. Obviously, here, when we talk about fan bases here and hating and tribalism, it's never the majority, because these games are huge. These games are huge, and the majority of players don't really care about the other games. They just want to play their own game and, well, have fun. But this loud minority kind of ruins the entire space, and that's what kind of grinds my gears, because it's completely unjustified. Especially since, well, right now Endfield has been one of the most solid gacha game releases out of all the big four, except for HSR. HSR had a more solid release. I think HSR was the game with the best release so far in terms of, well, actual gameplay, the polish, and stuff like that. Even though I don't play HSR anymore, I can still admit it, of course. I played the game, I enjoyed the game at the start. And then we have Endfield. Endfield has problems, for sure, but the state that the game released in, it released with a lot of content and a lot of stuff to do, which, well, it's basically the same as a lot of content. The story isn't half bad. It's not amazing by any means, but it's not bad too. You can just you can play it and enjoy it, or you can also skip it. You have a skip button. The combat is fine, the characters are pretty cool, and the factory is a good differentiator
Don't worry, I'm
from
around.
the other gachas.
Just go ahead and waste your time.
It
some
launched
more.
with well, when it launched, it didn't have an end game, but right now we have like 2 different end game modes, and I think next patch will have like 3 different end game modes, if I'm not mistaken. When every other game only had like one end game mode for like at least a year or so. Then we'll probably have something like Genshin Impact in 3rd place as the best release. Not in terms of player base, because Genshin Impact had the best release in terms of player base, but I'm talking about polish and everything. Genshin Impact did release with a lot of bugs and with a lot of problems and a lot of quality of life missing. Though it was the first of its genre, so it wasn't really noticeable. But it wasn't as egregious as the others though. Then we'll probably have ZZZ that launched with, well, it didn't really have many problems at launch, other than like something along the lines of not being able to launch on mobile for some reason for some time, like a couple of days or something. But it was fixed pretty quickly. But the biggest problem with ZZZ was probably the TV, which held the game back, and it kind of delayed the quote-unquote official launch, because they had to remake a lot of stuff, they had to remove a lot of stuff, and the first couple of patches felt empty because of that. But other than that, it wasn't half bad. Then in the last place, we do have Wuthering Waves. Wuthering Waves launch was a catastrophe. It was absolutely abhorrent. Also, what's up, Tokitsune? How you doing? Lots of bugs. The story, even though I played it, I didn't skip anything. And I thought it had a little bit better pacing than the early Genshin Impact story. It still wasn't amazing. Like sure, the pacing was a bit better, but the story itself wasn't very interesting. And Wuwa didn't really have much gameplay at the start, and I think it was the worst launch. And where I want to get with this, also what's up, Tagarek, how you doing? What I want to get with this is that a lot of people are saying that Enfield has the worst gacha game launch ever. They seem to forget Wuthering Waves launch. Like, holy... And the people that are saying that Enfield has the worst launch ever are mostly Wuthering Waves players. A loud minority, obviously, but they are mostly Wuthering Waves players. And I find it funny considering the Wuthering Waves launch. And also, another thing I want to point out is that a lot of people are, at least optimization is on point. Yes, optimization is probably one of the best, if not the best, out of all of them. Though HSR also ran and still runs perfectly well. But a lot of people are talking about Enfield and saying that Enfield is doing X or Y, when literally the same can be applied to their own game. And that's actually what pisses me off. For example, let me show you this. Careful, the screen is going to turn white now. So yeah, flashbang warning. Either some in Gacha community has short-term memory, hypocrite, bias, or so on. Yeah, and that's unfortunate because, sure, do I have bias against Hoyoverse games? Sure, absolutely, absolutely. I despise the company, but I can still admit that I had a lot of fun with Genshin. I had a lot of fun with HSR when it launched. I didn't really have fun with ZZZ, to be honest, but I can accept that the games are good. I'm not going to be out here saying, oh, these games are absolute dogshit trash just because I don't like it. I don't like them. The games are doing fine, the games are doing well, they are pulling numbers, they are making money, and if they are making money, it's because they are doing something right. So let me show you this. So I saw a content creator, right, you might know who they are, but they were saying that Hypogryph was spending a shitload of money with advertising, and they weren't pulling numbers for it. So let me check here. So Arknights Endfield launched on January 22nd, and they were at the top 3 top feature, which means that they were advertising a lot. I think it's along those lines. And on their first month, they show up here, where are they, at over $10 million made in revenue, at least in this website, right? And then the next month, which is February, they show at more than 20. Where are they? Where are they? I think they are down here. No, they are still at over 10. They're still at over 10. And that's fine. That's fine. They don't show up here, they show up here at number 14. But the focus was in the launch, where they were advertising a lot. And I'm like, yeah, they are top 3, and they are indeed advertising a lot. And this content creator makes content for Wuthering Waves. They are a Wuthering Waves fanboy, right? So let's see at let's look at the launch of Wuthering Waves, which is May 22nd, 2024. And well, guess what? Wuthering Waves is top 1. Is top 1. Sure, the score is indeed a bit lower, I think by 60,000 points, which when comparison to 2,803,584, 60,000 isn't by a lot, especially when comparing to like 5th place and 7th place and whatnot. And well, Zenless is also here, but we're not talking about Zenless. Wuthering Waves is top 1, and we can argue they aren't pulling the numbers for it. Where is Wuthering Waves? It's also a little bit over 10 million. So what does this tell us? When someone is complaining that Arknights Endfield is advertising a shitload and is not pulling numbers for it, while Wuthering Waves did the exact same thing and that wasn't mentioned, we can see there's a big bias. Big bias. And whenever we are talking about these numbers, and especially when our game is guilty of, well, doing the exact same thing, we kinda have to look at it on a different perspective before actually talking about it. Sure, you can talk about it, but at least mention that Wuthering Waves did the same thing. Compare it to your game. Just say, Arknights Endfield is doing horrible because they are doing the same thing Wuthering Waves did on launch, and Wuthering Waves had the worst launch ever, so you can compare it to the worst gacha game launch ever. And then you have an argument. Then you can say that everyone that says that Wuthering Waves had an absolute horrible launch, absolute dog shit, and no one can say no to that because it's just a fact. No one that says that can defend Arknights Endfield, for example. That's an argument you can make. I'm not saying that it's true, I'm saying that it's an argument you can make. But when you come here and point fingers at Hypogryph for doing something, and then don't mention that your favorite game did the exact same shit, I feel like that's disingenuous and you're hiding guilt by omission. You're omitting that your favorite game did the exact same thing. And I find that a very shitty tactic of trying to trash talk a game you don't like. And it's not that that person dislikes Endfield. I don't think they dislike Endfield. I think they grew to hate Endfield because they weren't part of the big sponsor group. Arknights Endfield did advertise a lot, just like Wuthering Waves. But that content creator was not part of it. They didn't get picked to play the beta test, and they didn't get picked to be sponsored by Hypergraph. And on their very first video that they made about, well, Arknights Endfield, they said, well, I didn't get sponsored, so I'm going to make content anyway and get views anyway. They also said that they are going to keep covering the game because it gets views. So they're going to keep farming it because it gets views. And all that tells me is that they wanted money. This is the whole gacha thing. You play the game, grind and wait for new banners. I don't know how you can play endgame when devs didn't put attention in that. The whole point is money, not enjoyment. I'm going to be honest with you, I don't play any endgame in any of these gacha games. I think it's a waste of time. Sure, if you like grinding and if you like a challenge, sure, but for me it's a waste of time. And you can say whatever you want, I don't think any endgame mode in any of these gacha games is good. I do think that Arknights Endfield is going on a good direction when it comes to endgame because it doesn't put a time limit, so more people can enjoy it, more people can get the rewards. Because you don't need a team that does 1 billion damage, you don't need to optimize every single aspect of your team for the most optimal damage, you just need to be good at the game. You need to be good at dodging, and you need to be skilled. You don't need to do 1 bajillion damage and keep spamming the same combo over and over again to optimize the DPS. Is it fun? I don't know, because I don't really play endgame. But but I did try. I tried the endgame in Genshin, obviously, with Spiral Abyss, and when they introduced new endgames, I had already quit the game. I quit in 5.0. I did try the first endgame in HSR. I tried the TOA in Wuthering Waves, and I tried Wiwa in Wuthering Waves. And I tried the endgame here. And all of those, I feel like here it's more enjoyable, especially because you don't have a time limit. It feels like in the other games, you wouldn't be able to clear it unless you sweat, or unless your characters are very, 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 very well built. And when relying in RNG to build your characters because of artifacts and echo farming, it becomes very tedious, very fast. Because endgame is not a show of skill, it's more of show of how lucky you are with rolls. Sure, you still have to have some skill to get through the endgame, but it's mostly how good your rolls are and how good is your team for that specific endgame mode. And I don't think that's fun at all, because it doesn't require you to have actually good skill. And it alienates people that, well, can't play this game every day and can't grind these games every day, so they don't have the best builds. It just makes it harder for them. Endfield's my first gacha game. I know about grinding greedy devs like in MMO, but unlike these games, gacha devs lack in endgame content. That's the thing. That's the same with every single gacha game. But you wanna know why? Well, MMOs right now kinda are suffering the same thing, especially new ones. I mean, old ones have a lot of endgame content, because they've had time to cook. But have you tried playing a new MMO and grinded it for like a week or two and then hit like a wall and you're like, what do I do now? That's what happens with new MMOs as well, because they haven't had time to cook. They had that content and, well, they don't have 10 years of content like Black Desert Online or 20 years of content like World of Warcraft. And those games are focusing more on gameplay than on story. Especially Black Desert Online, which is the game that I'm more familiar with. They are more focused on the grinding aspect and more focused on the gameplay aspect, while gacha games are mostly focused on the story aspect of the game, because they want to sell characters, obviously. They want to sell characters, so how do they sell characters? They have to be likable. And how are they likable? Through the story. You play their story, you relate to them, and you see them in action, you like them, or maybe you dislike them, and then you care for them and you want to pull for them because you want to build them, you want to play as them, and etc, etc. That's a tactic every single gacha game uses. But there's a problem. You can't make a story that lasts, where you can play for 30 or 40 days. That's just like impossible. People are going to get done with the story very quickly. If you make a 8 hours story, that's basically a full base game. There are games that are shorter than that. I think I've beat Resident Evil 2 in less time than that. I've beat Resident Evil 2 in less time than it took me to get to Wuling in this game, for example. So it's very hard to make a story game that can, well, last a very long time before the next update, before the next story. It's more gacha game is mad for me. Rather play Warframe. Yeah, true. It's more chill. In WoW you gotta have the best team comp and build, best DPS drop. In here, just know how to put a decent team and know how things work as a minimum. Yes, and on the higher difficulties, you have to know how to dodge. You're not pressured by the time, you're not pressured by the amount of DPS you are doing. Game thrust out, and they already wanted it to be the next Genshin Impact with 500 billion HP inflation or whatever. Yeah, and that's what kind of grinds my gears, because people have this expectation that these games have to come out with the same amount of content like the other games have that have been out for like 2 years, 4 years, or 6 years. But the thing is, most of the people complaining about Arknights Endfield that I've seen, I haven't seen many people that are fans or fanboys or Hoyoshills themselves complaining about Arknights Endfield. I haven't seen many of them. I've seen before Arknights Endfield released, I have seen some Hoyoshills, and when I talk about Hoyoshills, I'm not talking about like your average Hoyoverse game enjoyer. It's not who I'm talking about. I'm talking about the elitists. I saw some of them trying to talk shit about the game, and at the time I think I did call it out. But right now, the majority of people that I'm seeing talking bad about the game are Wuthering Waves elitists. Also, what's up, Arul? How are you doing? And it's mostly because there's this one big Wuthering Wave CC that is riling them up. obviously not every single one is a fan of his, or like absolutely agrees with everything he says, but even when they are not a fan of him, they are still Wuthering Waves fanboys. And I'm like, what? Why are Wuthering Waves players complaining so much about Arknights Endfield? If you want this game to fail so much, because I haven't seen a single one of them saying that they want this game to succeed. They just trash talk it, say that this game is going to die, that this game is dead. Let it die. If you think that the game is going to die, quit the game and let it die. For example, there's this game that just came out, which is called, what's it called? I forgot the name. Let me try to look it up. Well, fuck that game. It's like the Concord 3 or some shit like that. But let's talk about Concord. Concord is another great example. You know that Concord launched, right? And it was not very successful, right? It was very, very, very unsuccessful. And it shut down in less than a week. It completely... also Marathon, but Highguard, that's the game. That's the game, just VT. That's the game. They're also... Highguard also announced that they are shutting down in like just 2 weeks. And people were complaining about the game, but they weren't just trash talking at the game. Like on the first day or on the first couple of days, they voiced their opinion about the game. They said, I don't like this game, I think this game is trash, and I'm not going to play it. And then no one else talked about the game. They weren't trashing the game. They weren't complaining about this and that. They weren't complaining about the updates. They just said, I don't like the game, I'm not going to play the game. I think the game does things bad here, here, and here, and that's it. Right? And what happened when they stopped playing the game? Well, the game shut down. Do the same here. If you do really believe that Enfield is so bad that everything that you can say about the game is just saying that the game is bad, quit the game. Let it die. Let it die. If it dies, it means that you were right. So just let it die. Don't talk about it. Just say, I don't like the game, and stop playing. But you know why specifically that content creator likes talking about the game? Because it gives views. It just gives views. So they like talking about the game. And it's not that they dislike the game. They have played, they are higher level than me. They've played the game a lot. A lot. Do you think that someone that dislikes the game so much would play this much? People that disliked Highguard pointed out the issues right away and said, I don't want to play this game because of these, and these issues. And they stopped playing. The same when happened to Concord. So just stop playing. Let it die. Another reason, but first let me read what you are talking about. Destiny 2 players Concord, never heard about it. See, there are insane Doom posting about Arknights Endfield being bad. True. Clickbaiters, drama farmers, paid trolls, proclaimed gamer. Yeah. So, what I think is happening, right? And this is kinda their own fault. It's the Wuthering Waves player base own fault. It's their fanbase own fault. Because they kept asking for quote-unquote quality of life from Kuro Games to implement in Wuthering Waves. And Wuthering Waves has been doing it. They have been implementing quality of life, but you can reference to my video, I think it's called Wuthering Waves Fatal Flaw, and I did talk about it in there, and I think that video still holds true, especially today. The playtime in Wuthering Waves has been going down every single patch. There's almost no game right now. Cares about others' opinions. If you're just playing the game, you are right. You are right. But it grinds my gears that some people listen to it and believe it. And it's not that that in itself pisses me off, is that those people that just have never played the game and just listen to what the other said, maybe they would enjoy the game. And this goes for like actual bad games like High Guard and Concord. Some people that is, for example, me, I've heard people say that High Guard is bad, and I was like, maybe I won't play the game. But maybe if I did play the game, maybe I would enjoy it. But the difference between me not wanting to play High Guard because I think it's bad, or because other people told me it's bad, is that I'm not going out of my way to post on Twitter or to make videos about it, trash talking it, or going to comments saying that that game is absolute garbage. I'm just not going to play the game. Right? The guy you're talking about is Wuwa fanboy. Even Wuwa hates him. I know. And I'm not saying that the developers are at fault for what he says, obviously. So what I was going to say is that Wuthering Waves has been introducing quality of life, and with quality of life I mean you don't have to play the game. The exploration turned into a checkbox because people in 1.0 were complaining that, oh, it's very hard to find chests, so they increased the range of the little gadget. They were still, I mean, it's very tedious to still find chests and stuff, so in 2.x every single chest location was marked. Just go there and just open the chest. It's just a checklist. Every single challenge is marked. Every single thing that you have to do in the map is marked. Obviously there are some chests that are unmarked, but for the most part, for you to 100% the map, every single thing is marked. And it doesn't become exploration at that point, it just becomes a checklist. And you can get it done very quickly. Sure, a good way, I mean, the way that, for example, Genshin Impact does it is also not the best way, but because it's very hard to 100% it, but it's better than having just a checklist. Because in one you actually explore the game and you find interesting stuff that maybe you didn't know it was there, and you keep exploring, and it gives you incentive to explore the game and have fun exploring, just like in Arknights Endfield. Sure, you have the locator for the chests, but it's not completely free like in Wuthering Waves. You have to explore first, and it's not limitless. So it takes the joy of exploring Wuthering Waves and it just makes it a checklist, which I don't enjoy. I don't enjoy ticking a checklist. Then the events. The events is just another checklist. Most of the events in Wuthering Waves are bad. They are not fun and they are just bad. And most of them are login events. You don't even need to do anything. You don't need to play the game. You just log in and collect the rewards. That's where the complaint that Arknights Endfield doesn't give enough pools comes from. Because people are used to logging in, getting all the rewards without playing, and logging out. That's what people are used to. And this is especially true for Wuthering Waves players, because that's what happens in their game. A lot of Hoyo players are not complaining about not having enough pools, because they know that you kinda have to play the game to get rewards. Sure, the pools in Arknights Endfield are very spread out and very packed towards the back of the game. But it's not like they don't give pools at all. They actually give more pools than Wuthering Waves. In 1.0, Arknights Endfield gave almost 2 times the pools that Wuthering Waves gave out in 1.0. So it's not like there's not enough pools. It's just that you have to play the game to get them, and people are not used to that. The game is too easy, like way too easy. It's just autopilot and everything. Yes. So it decreases the playtime, and you'll get what I'm trying to say with this. It decreases the playtime, so they don't have anything to do. The new patch launches, and they are entertained for 2 days. In one day, they play the story, and on the second day, they clean the map. And then maybe they do the end game on the third day. And then they have to wait a week or 2 for Rewa, and they do that. But in between that, in between end game resets, they don't have anything to do other than logging in for the event checklist where you get the rewards, and the events are not even fun. I've played the bike event, like the one that it's like a mobile game where you have to shoot the walls and whatnot. Like I've played that, and I still play Wuthering Waves. I'm probably going to skip a bunch of stuff, but I still play Wuthering Waves. I played up until the end of 3.0, and I've played a little bit of 3.1. I played the beginning of it. I didn't finish Amia's story though. It just wasn't interesting for me. It's not that the story is bad, absolutely not, but it just wasn't interesting to me. So I played the event. I also played the card event, and the card event is actually not bad. Not bad. It includes a bunch of characters, and the card game itself, it's very simple, and it is indeed very repetitive, but for you to play like 5 minutes is not bad. I'll be right back. Okay, someone random was just knocking at my door. Like, what the fuck? What was I saying? Oh yeah, the card game isn't horrible, but it's also not amazing. It's just the bare minimum. When you look at games like, for example, Genshin, HSR, or ZZZ, even Nikkei, and even here, which we haven't had like many events here, but we can compare it to other Hoyoverse titles and non-Hoyoverse titles like Nikkei. The events are actually pretty good. They are pretty good. Not every single one of them is amazing, but the one that I have more experience with, which is Genshin, the events are fun. Sure, there are problems, like I wanted the events to stay permanently in the game, so that people that weren't able to play during that patch could go back and play it, but the events have story behind them. They evolve the world, they evolve the relationships with characters, they evolve relationships between characters, not just with the main character. And they do have mini games, especially in Nikkei, for example. Some events in Nikkei don't even revolve around the main character, don't even have the main character there. We are not even present in in some story in events in Nikkei. And the mini games are there for you to play the mini games. They are fun. Some of them are, well, not really that good, but the minigame is a small part of the event, and the events are decent. What event like that have we had in Wuthering Waves? I think the only one I can think of is the event in like 1.1, or when Xiang Liao released. I think that's his name. The guy that was given out for free. That's the only event that I can think of that kinda did that. But at the time, the story was still not very good, but at least it was on the right path with the event. But after they did that, I thought that that event would be a repeatable event. It was going to be something that would be done like in Genshin Impact with the Wind Bloom Festival and the other festivals that are repeatable throughout the year and always have a different story and whatnot. I thought it was going to be something along those lines, but they haven't done it. They haven't done it. There's nothing to look forward to in these events. And what I'm getting at is that people that play Wuthering Waves don't really have a game to play. They are bored. They are very, very, very bored. They might attack you with everything you do. They just don't agree that WoW has its own flaws. I don't care what they think. I mean, I don't care what they think or say about me. They can say I'm a fucking dumbass, and that my opinion shouldn't be taken into consideration and whatnot. I don't care. I'm going to voice my opinion because, well, it is my channel and I talk about whatever I want. They can comment whatever they want. I won't delete anything. They can say whatever they want about me. But the thing is that I'm trying to be objective here. And they don't have a game to play. They just don't. They don't. They are bored. And what do people do when they are bored? Well, they go do something else. And most Wuthering Waves players, what do they do? They go play something else. They go play Genshin. A lot of WoW players play Genshin, play HSR, and play ZZZ. But the elitists, what do? They can't play anything else because they can't enjoy any other game other than Wuthering Waves. Because if you enjoy any other game other than Wuthering Waves, that's blasphemy. You can be sentenced to the death sentence if you enjoy any other game other than Wuthering Waves. So they tune into people glazing other games, and sometimes not even glazing. They are talking about other games or enjoying other games, and just go there and say, "Hey, your game is trash. You shouldn't play that game. Go play Wuthering Waves." Because one of the most viewed content for Wuthering Waves is people saying, "I quit Genshin for WoWa. My first time playing WoWa. My first time reacting to WoWa. My first time playing X WoWa patch." And stuff like that. That's the content that gets most views. Why? Because Wuthering Waves players want to see other people obviously enjoy their game, but also because they don't have anything else to do, so they just watch other people play the game for the first time. That's all they do. They watch other people enjoy the game they enjoy. Because they don't have anything else to do in the game. If someone makes a video or streams playing Genshin Impact 2.0 for the first time right now, sure, they might get some views, but they are not getting as many views as someone playing Wuthering Waves 2.0 for the first time. Because for as incredible as it may seem, Hoyo games or Hoyoverse games have been getting some content. Genshin Impact players have had stuff to do in their game. HSR players are having 4.x right now. They have stuff to do in their game. ZZD players are doing their own thing. And, well, every other gacha game player that plays any other gacha game are doing their own thing. They are playing their own game. At the time when WoWa came out, Genshin wasn't on a very good spot. It wasn't in a very good spot. It wasn't in a horrible spot, but it's not they had like a shitload of content. And especially during 2.x, when Natlan was a thing. I mean, Natlan, am I right? But yeah, so they got a lot of hate from those elitists from Genshin Impact. And they are doing the exact same thing. But right now, it's Wuthering Waves against Arknights Endfield. Genshin fans and even Genshin elitists are not talking about Endfield almost at all, because they are playing their game. They are playing their game because they have stuff to do. WoWa players don't have anything to do. And that's why I haven't streamed Wuthering Waves in such a long time, because a couple of weeks ago someone asked me, why don't you stream Wuthering Waves anymore? Or when is your next Wuthering Waves stream? And well, I said, well, there's nothing to do in the game. What am I going to stream? Grinding? I don't like grinding. Like, what am I going to do? Farm echoes? Farming echoes is absolutely dog shit in Wuthering Waves. It's probably for me, it's the worst grinding experience. Have 40 sanity boosters that is about to expire and I don't have time to use them all because I've had a job. Because I'm cooked. Damn. I mean, you can just use them and have the energy overcapped instead of like wasting them, and then just chip out on it, like from time to time. And they got the pink Amiat girl patch to grind and play. Yeah, but it's already done. It's already done. All they need to do is like get a good echo set. Other than that, what are they going to grind for? What are they going to do in the game? They got in the game, they played through the story. A bunch of people finished the story in 1 day or 2. Pulled the character because all the rewards are free. Obviously, all the rewards are login events. All you have to do is log into the game and you get everything. You don't have to play the game. Do the map checklist, the exploration checklist, which is not even exploration, it's just a checklist, so remove the exploration word from it. Do the checklist and boom, you have the character. Maybe you pull the weapon, maybe you don't. What else? What else do we have to do in the game? Nothing. Who remember playing COD Modern Warfare 4 and all players back then as grown men with their kids? Those were the times. I never was a Modern Warfare guy, but yeah, I kind of wish those times were back. Imagine playing the game just because to hate it and go full speedrun on all quests without having any fun and complain about the factory, which is the core gameplay. That's another point. That's another point I wanted to get at. Not every game has to be Genshin Impact. Not every game has to be Wuthering Waves. If Arknights Endfield played the same as Wuthering Waves, I would fucking hate this game. Because why would I play the game? If this game played the same or did the same stuff that Wuthering Waves does, obviously this game isn't perfect. It needs a shitload of quality of life updates. But if they do the same thing that Kuro Games did, I think it's going to shit. Because when I want to play a game, I want to play a game. I want to actually play a game. I don't want to log into a game, do dailies and quit do dailies for 5 minutes and quit. That's not playing a video game. I grew up with actually sitting down, opening up a game and playing that game for 1, 2, 3, 4 hours if I want to. If I want to play for 5 minutes, I can play for 5 minutes. If I want to play for 3 hours, I can play for 3 hours. If, for example, I log into Arknights Endfield, like I am right now, and I say I want to play this game for 3 hours. Can I play this game for 3 hours? Yes, I can. Yes, I can. I can mess with factory. I can explore because it doesn't get done in like 5 minutes. I can do side quests. I can grind for the end game. I can do a bunch of stuff. If I log into Genshin Impact right now and want to play for 3 hours, I can play for 3 hours. If I log into WoWoff right now, and we are considering that we're done with the story, right? If I log into WoWoff and I want to play for 3 hours, can I play for 3 hours? I don't think so. I don't think so. Unless I just start doing side quests, which is the only thing that the game gives you, right? But the side quests in Wuthering Waves are so unbelievably boring. It's just a chore. Let us build and make teleport points in factory, then place it anywhere we want, or at least limit the teleport. Yes, that's a good one. That's a good one. Kind of like how Genshin has the teleports, where you can place like a teleport wherever you want in the map. Genshin has that, and I think it's a good addition. That's just your opinion? Yes, it is my opinion. I gotta move back into Valley 4 to place them 101 zipline. Yeah, but what I'm trying to get at is that you have a lot more stuff to do in those other games than in Wuthering Waves. And I'm not complaining. I'm not shit talking the game. I'm just saying that because people don't have much to do in that game, the elitists that cannot play any other game because the only game they can enjoy is Wuthering Waves, they start trash talking other games, and especially that one creator fan base. Especially that one creator fan base. Because they eat up everything that he says. If you... For example, I don't log in daily in any of my gacha games. I just don't. I just feel like that's a chore, and I don't log in daily in any gacha game that I play. I don't log in daily in Nikkei, I don't log in daily in Wuwa, and I don't log in daily in Arknights Endfield. Sometimes I log into Arknights Endfield, mess around with the factory, and don't even do the dailies. For example, today, am I going to do the dailies? Not really. You can see here. Have like 2 done. I'm probably not going to do it. Why? Because that's just a chore. It's not something that I want to do. It's something that the game quote-unquote forces me and wants me to do. It's not something fun. I play the games to have fun. If the game doesn't give me anything fun to do, I'm not going to play it. And that's why I'm not playing Wuthering Waves right now, for example. And that's why I don't play Arknights Endfield every day. That's why I don't play League of Legends every day. Because sometimes I just... there are some days that I don't think it's going to be fun. Some days I want to mess with the factory, so I log into here. Some days I want to like PvP, so I log into League of Legends. But very, very, very little days do I feel like logging into Wuthering Waves to do a checklist. It's also wild that someone like that CC can even get a girlfriend to begin with. Brother, I don't know what went through her head to look at that Bobby Lee looking guy and say, yep, that's him, alright? That's him. But I mean, love is blind. Love is blind. You know, it is what it is. People can just take the fact that making these many quality of life changes with they demand takes a lot of time, yet they still cry that the new patch doesn't give all the things they want. Exactly. And in 1.1 they are introducing a lot of quality of life updates. And well, it's like a... how do you call it?
An experienced hunter can read the winds and use it to predict the weather.
It's a double standard.
Or to track the prey.
It's a double standard. For their game, everything is possible. Everything is fine. Oh, we have to understand the dev. We have to put ourselves in their shoes. But it's... when it's the competitor's game, it's dog shit. The devs don't care. if the devs send a lot of surveys in their game, the devs are listening. They are asking what we want. They want our opinion. If the devs send a lot of surveys in Arknights Endfield, oh, the devs don't care. The devs don't listen. They keep asking for our opinion, but they don't care. That's why they keep sending surveys. Like, what's the logic? Felt like the drama was settling down and Saint said Cap was his ex. Like, I don't know why he pulled that card. I don't know why he pulled that card. And you wanna know the funny part? I don't think I said it in video, but I did comment on it on a CJ video. Like way back, a long time ago, where CJ, Cap, and Saint were having beef, and Cap and Saint were against CJ. They were calling him like, they're saying that he had like girl lips because it looked like he had lipstick and stuff, and they're making fun of him because of that. I commented in there saying that, oh, that's just his girlfriend trying to protect like Saint. I literally called Cap his girlfriend, and to think that I was actually right. To think that I was actually right is crazy. I don't know if I can find it. Probably not, but if I can, I'll show it on my Discord.
Don't worry, I'm around. Just go ahead and waste your time some more.
If I'm wondering what kind of party he is, I would dump him too. The crazy part, it was him that dumped her apparently. That's the crazy part. Trying to understand Saint's logic is impossible. Yeah. And for anyone wondering, I'm not trying to like shit on any game here. I'm not trying to shit on Enfield, WoWa, or anything like that. I do state my opinion, and well, obviously I like some games more, I like some games less. But we have to look at it, well, through a fact lens, or at least try. What I'm talking about more here is about the controversy and people saying bad things about one game when their game does the same thing or worse. The guy you are talking about never even talked about the godly optimization in graphic natives. He just makes it as the gacha bad, so everything else is insignificant. Another thing that I wanted to talk about is that imagine I'm that other content creator, right? So, guys, I don't think that Griefline or these hyper grifters know what they are talking about, because when you come into this game, you start playing this game, right? You're having fun, and then you get bitch slapped by the most horrific fucking gacha system known to man, right? And they have fixed a couple of problems. Yeah, they are addressing problems, but they aren't addressing the biggest problems. There are a lot of problems they are not addressing, and here's one of them. But the problems they are addressing, they are not the problems that we need fixing. What are the problems that need fixing? Well, a lot of problems need fixing, like the end game, the end game. Why is the end game bad? Well, because it's bad. Because you have a 10-minute time limit, and I want to not be able I want a challenge. I want a yeah. That's what I want. I want a challenge. 10-minute time limit does not give me a challenge. Yeah, that's it. That's it. What are the other problems? Well, a lot of problems. A lot of problems. The game has a lot of problems. They are addressing a lot of quality of life. Yeah, but they aren't addressing the biggest problems, which are indeed problems, right? They are indeed problems. What are the problems? I don't know. I don't know. It's like this every single video. They keep talking about the game has a lot of problems. The game has a lot. What are those problems? And they cannot point them out. They cannot point it out. What do you want them to improve? If you want the game to improve, point it out. Say, hey, I don't like this. I like this. But the only thing they can point out is the gacha system, which is the only thing they can hold on to, just because they don't have the PD carryover on the guarantee, and maybe the end game. They say the end game is boring, but the end game is boring in every single game. When you can't find problems, you start calling them greedy, racist, and PDF files. Exactly. My long lost child. All games have pros and cons. Some false information to suit your bias and narrative is literally asking to be called out. Well, I did some videos on that creator. Let's name drop. We all know we're talking about Saint, but I didn't want to make it about Saint in general, because there are other creators other than Saint that just repeat Saint's narrative, which are just as bad. It's just as bad. But he is very biased. Very biased. And I did call him out in some videos, but his fan base is so brainwashed that they don't even watch the video, or sometimes they watch the video and they see him saying one thing word for word. They know what he means, and they trying to bend that in the complete opposite way. It's not what he meant, that's not really what he's trying to say, and stuff like that. And it pisses me off, because you can clearly see what he is trying to say. It's exactly what he is saying. What he's trying to say is exactly what he is saying. Parroting his narratives, yeah. Ivan's asset too small, devs aren't listening.
Looking for me?
That actually made me laugh when I saw that people were saying like, oh, Yvonne is just a fan service game. They're complaining about her trailer, like showing a little bit of ass, and I'm like, bro, what are you? Like a fucking pussy? Like, holy shit. They're afraid of some ass. Like, it's a gacha game. And a lot what another thing, a lot of people are complaining about this quote-unquote fan service. I mean, not quote-unquote, it is fan service, okay? It is fan service. They're complaining about this fan service when Wuthering Waves has Cantarella, for example. When Wuthering Waves has the bodysuit wolf girl, which is Lupa, which is also very fan servicing. Wuthering Waves has the big mommy Cartathea, the fleur de lis, which if you tell me that isn't fan servicey, I don't know what to tell you, and stuff like that. Almost every single one of their recent characters have some sort of fan service. The same goes for Genshin Impact with the green girl, I don't know her name, which has a lot of even cosplayers were kind of pissed off because how the fuck am I going to cosplay this character? She's half naked, right? HSR, I don't think HSR has that much fan service, but I think it still has some. And then ZZZ. ZZZ is just fan service. That's all the game is. And why are people complaining about Yvonne? Like, what? Why are you complaining about Yvonne when all these other games are more fan servicey than like showing Yvonne's ass? What? Carlotta's swimsuit. I mean, but Carlotta, it's a one-piece swimsuit. I don't think it's like too lewd, but still swimsuit. I mean, brother, Yuno. I forgot about Yuno. Have you seen the Yuno's like pose on the character screen? Like, holy shit! She's just like showing it all to you. She's just showing like everything. You can see what she ate for dinner. Literally. Let me see. You know? Booba. Let me see. Let's see if I can find it. No. Oh, I do have a video when I pulled Yuno. If I can find it. She is over. Where is she? Oh, here. Like, what do you say about this? What do you say about... What is this? Are you telling me that this is not fan service? And also, they purposely made it that this wasn't a skirt because it's cut off in the front, so they could do this. Because if this was a full skirt, they wouldn't be able to do this because it would count as like a panty shot. The way they worked around it was to cut off the front part of her skirt, like here. So they could just say that it's part of her bodysuit and it's not a panty shot. But when she goes like this, you cannot see it. It's just an upskirt shot. Is this not fan servicing? What are we complaining about? What are we complaining about? I'm personally, I enjoy it. I like it. I'm not going to say I don't. I play Nikkei for goodness sake. But what are people complaining about? Have you seen Inefa? It's not Inefa. What's the other girl? What's the other girl? This one, Nefer. Their names are like so similar. Is it Nefer or is it another one? I think it's another one. Genshin characters. There's one character that is like half naked. It's the deer girl. the first one in what's it called? In the new region. Nilo? It's not Nilo. Those same people who defend Lauma. Yeah, Lauma. It's Ilauma. Yeah, this one. Like, what the fuck? How can you also defend this? Where is she? Like, cosplayers were like complaining about Lauma because, well, she basically has no clothes. She has like a little bit of cloth in front of her and a little bit of cloth behind her. That's all she has. Bro, can I see like the whole character, please? Can I see the whole character? That's not it. I mean, we can see. Oh, here. Like. Holy booba. She's 90% skin. She just has like a little bit of cloth covering her ass and like a little bit of cloth like covering her front. Like, what? Cantarella had to be censored. Like, why are we complaining about Yvonne of all characters? Like, holy. I just find it hilarious. Like, and the double standard. It's like crazy. M security. It reminds me of BMW for some reason. Yvonne is tame compared to the skins, you know, Arknights. That too. Also, Arknights. There are some Arknights players that are complaining. Arknights also has fan service. Pog's assets. I was going to say, where's Pog? But I don't have Pog. That's the only character I'm missing. What's this? That's the only character I'm missing, actually. Sadly. Pog, my baby girl. But yeah. I just wanted to. I was going to play. I was going to play Resident Evil today, but I just wanted to get this out of my chest. I just wanted to talk about this because holy, I've been wanting to say a lot of stuff, and I've been wanting to say like what's in my head, and I haven't said everything. I'm sure I'm forgetting about a bunch of stuff. No anime men are safe from me. But until you see Shang Yu's Chico physics? What?
Looking for me? You find. Watch this!
Empty wallet.
What about Alice? Don't you like Alice? I think Alice is
Fools who
cool.
like to micromanage.
Empty wallet.
The fisherman.
Story of my life.
Your views drop after showing all the sauce? What sauce? What sauce? I have... Even if I don't want him, Alice wants me. I mean, Alice is cool. Alice is cool. Also, I'm very much forgetting about something that I wanted to talk about. I'm very much forgetting about something. Now, what was it? So I talked about the the advertisement thing, talked about the double standards. There's also the revenue chart. The revenue chart is probably the dumbest fucking thing I've ever
An
seen.
experienced hunter can read winds
Like,
and use it to
how can
predict
people
weather
say,
or to trap
oh,
prey.
this is a accurate representation one day, and then the next day say that it's not reliable? How the fuck? Bias, false information, tribalism. So you all know the Gacha revenue charts, right? We all know about that. Alright? Gacha revenue. And I wanted to stay with me for a little bit, because I'll be going very soon. I'll be leaving very soon, because I do have to go to work. I do have a job. I am employed. Like, look at this, right? And nice, Goddess of Victory in number 14. So people were expecting Wuthering Waves to be on top, to be number 1. And I have commented on a video saying that Wuthering Waves will probably never be number 1 because it's not a mobile focused game. A lot of people don't play on mobile. So, and this mostly only accounts for mobile revenue. And a couple of months ago, I've seen Saint complaining how this is not accurate at all. This is an absolute lie, that we shouldn't take this into consideration. And whatnot. But then he comes here and says, wow, Arknights Endfield only made 25 million. I think, and the game just launched. I think the game is falling off. How can you say that this is not accurate in one day, and then come here and when it fits your narrative, you say, yeah, the game is falling off. You can see here that it's not making much money. How the hell? Saint complains that Arknights Endfield gives surveys. He complains they started the devlog with thanking the player's support. He masked it as if they are showing off their launch, and he hates it. I saw it because I was just curious. It's not that, like, I sometimes watch his videos just to see like what he's talking about. I'm not planning on, when I watch his videos, I'm not planning on debunking him or anything like that. I just want to see like what he thinks, to see if, well, he's turned a new leaf, or if he's seeing things objectively or not. And I did talk about it earlier when, well, if Wuthering Waves gives a lot of surveys, wow, devs are listening and whatnot. If Arknights Endfield gives a lot of surveys, wow, the devs don't give a fuck about us. Like, how can you turn like the devs giving you surveys for you to state your opinion on the game as a bad thing? Are people gonna start flying? I don't know. Maybe he hits his head or something and starts thinking straight again. Brain dead, fake gamers, lies, revenue, shows, games, longevity. Also, what pisses me off the most? What pisses me off the most is that, wow, guys, Fate Grand Order only made $13 million. Only made $13 million. The game is dying, brother. $13 million in a month is a shit load of money. A game like Genshin, a game like Wuwa, a game like Naruto, a game like Dragon Ball, a game like Endfield, a game like Arknights, Honkai, Uma Musume, Zenless, Nikkei, Fate, and whatnot. They could very well be making around $1 million, sometimes less, and still be in the green. They could. Is it expensive to maintain a live service game? Absolutely, it is. It is expensive to on the long run to maintain a game, but let's not pretend that it takes $400 million per patch or some shit like that, because it doesn't. It doesn't. The initial investment is the biggest one, and then obviously you have to spend money to continue to develop the game, obviously. But let's not pretend that they pay $1 million in salaries every month. He posted around 30 videos trashing about Endfield, not a single video about the positive things in the game. He said that Arknights Endfield had 3 banners, that's why it has got more money than... What? Like the other day, he was saying that Arknights Endfield was dropping off and the banners didn't generate any money, and then he said that it got more money than Wuwa. What? It got more money than Wuwa because the game is actually playable. Gay, always on your mind. Editor, cut that out. Cut that out. I was thinking about Andrew. There. I'm sorry. but yeah. Endfield made more money than Wuwa on its launch because people can actually play the game. That's why it made more money. It's not because it was like... It is better comparing launches. Arknights Endfield is a lot... Like 1.0 is a lot... leagues better than Wuthering Waves 1.0. There's no comparison. Alright? I liked Wuthering Waves 1.0. I had a lot of fun playing it. But let's not pretend that Arknights Endfield didn't have a much better launch. Andrew busy at his overhauled workplace? Beautified by Yvonne. So yeah, I don't know why the argument of the 3 banners.
Don't worry, I'm around. Just go ahead.
That's probably the dumbest fucking argument. Would it influentiate the revenue? Probably. I don't know. Was it the biggest part? No, absolutely not. When Wuwa dev give bug fix, wow, the devs listen. Arknights Endfield gives bug fix. Oh my god, how trash the game is that they fix. Yeah, like Wuthering Waves had some game-breaking bugs at the start, and they eventually fixed it and whatnot. And this is what pisses me off too. Like, you know, Arknights Endfield had the PayPal problem. And it was a problem. Absolutely. PayPal, I think it's still disabled. Can I see? I don't know. Let me see. Is PayPal still disabled? PayPal is still disabled. PayPal is still disabled. So, that's the thing. Let me do this, okay. They are taking time resolving the PayPal problem to absolutely make sure that it doesn't happen again, obviously. And it was a problem. They did refund everyone all their money. They kept all the items that they bought. Even people that weren't affected, that used PayPal, got refunded. And they were able to keep everything that they bought. So they literally got a bunch of stuff for free. Because they got refunded, every single one of them. And they are taking their time. Wuthering Waves can take their time fixing bugs, right? Wuthering Waves can take their time fixing optimization. The other time I was complaining about optimization and someone told me, oh, you know, it's not easy to optimize the game because this and that. And well, it has bad performance because it's an open world game and whatnot. They keep finding excuses for the absolute lack of competence that the developers have when it comes to optimizing the game. But whenever other companies or other developers fuck up in some way or another, or they take their time resolving stuff, then it's the end of the world. Well, he complains they are still not fixing the PayPal problem, but will also complain the PayPal has even the set of issues. Yeah, PayPal also responsible. I think I've heard it somewhere that it was PayPal also had like issues. PayPal itself also played a role. It wasn't just like on Hypergriff's part that the issues occurred, but I'm not sure about that, so don't quote me on that. But people keep finding excuses for their own game while pointing blame and saying that the enemy devs of the enemy game cannot give excuses for doing something because it's not an excuse, while they excuse their developers. For example, the spanning event in Wuthering Waves. When I heard Saint protecting the spanning event in Wuthering Waves, that's when I made my mind that he doesn't really care about the game. He just wants to shill for Wuwa, because that's all his fan base wants. He doesn't care that WoWa would be better or worse without a spending event. He doesn't care. He just wants to please his hungry fan base, hungry for drama. Like, how do you trash Hoyo versus spending event on any other game, but then praise or say that it's a non-issue in your game? If a spending event is a non-issue, why are you complaining about it in other games? If having no content is a non-issue in your game, why are you complaining about it in other games? Is it because you want a game to play? Probably. Why are you playing Arknights Endfield and not Wuthering Waves then? If Endfield has no content, why are you playing Endfield and not playing Wuthering Waves? Right? Shelling is one thing, but what he said and did cannot be undone. Yeah. Last time you went to Onami City, all that big map was useless just for a single event. That map alone is 10 gigabytes of my space. Holy shit. Actually, speaking of Onami City, I completely skipped everything. It was so the story was so unbelievably boring. I just skipped all of it to get to the 3.x. Like, holy. But yeah, people excuse everything in their game. Why are you complaining that the end game is not fun in this game when it's basically the same thing as your game? It's just killing enemies. That's all you do in your game too. So what's the problem? Wuthering Waves copied the endgame from Genshin. And every other open world gacha game did the exact same thing. Why do you complain about fan service in Arknights Endfield, but then fan service is a non-issue in Wuthering Waves? Fan service is fine, and when you see like flashing you with
Don't
her
worry, I'm
panties
around.
or
Just go
shoving
ahead and
her
waste your
foot in
time
your
some more.
throat, telling you to lick it, or Cantarella basically having a camel toe, or Cantarella having giant ass titties, double the polygons of other characters in her fucking milkers, okay? And that's a non-issue, but Yvonne on her trailer having a perky ass is a problem. Like, what the hell? WoW launched 2 years ago, it has 135 gigabytes. Genshin launched 5 years ago and only has 140. It's insane how unoptimized WoW is, but they are still neglecting the fact and accepting that. Yup. Yup. You know what their excuse is? Oh, it's because it's Unreal Engine. It's because it's Unreal Engine, bro. Because it's Unreal Engine, so you can't ask the same amount of optimization. That's what they tell me. But when Unreal Engine doesn't mean shit. Because it all depends on the competence of the devs. The devs don't know how to use Unreal Engine. The first game that they used Unreal Engine on was Wuthering Waves. Their last game was Unity. They don't know how to use Unreal Engine. And Unreal Engine 4 was probably the worst fucking choice of an engine they could ever make. There's a reason all these open world games choose Unity, especially these anime games. There's a reason they all choose Unity and not fucking Unreal Engine 4. And they are choosing Unreal Engine 5 now because Unreal Engine 5 is, well, more recent and a lot more people know how to use and optimize for Unreal Engine 5. Even though, sure, Unreal Engine 5 games have been coming out and they're pretty unoptimized, but a lot of people are learning how to use Unreal Engine 5. Unreal Engine 4 is very hard to use and the devs didn't know how to use it. They just don't. They just lack the skills to use the
Long distance hauls
Unreal
can
Engine
get
4.
really tiring.
They just
Let's
do.
keep it down and give the Endmen some quiet time to unwind.
Unreal Engine 5 is better than Unreal Engine 4. Technically, yes, but you would have to optimize it anyway. Right. But what I was trying to say, and this is very funny, you know how WoW players or WoW fanboys, they are known as the comparing waves, right? They are known as the comparing waves, and they like comparing their game to Genshin Impact. They like comparing the graphics. Oh, look how our water physics is so much better. Oh, look how we have ray tracing. Our characters models are so much better. How our grass is better. Our shadows are better. Our animations are better. Everything is better. And no one says that it's an unfair comparison. None of them, none of these WoW players say that it's an unfair comparison. Not a single one of them. They just say that it's better because the devs care more. They don't say that it's unfair because one is using Unreal Engine 4 and another is using Unity. They don't say it's unfair. You know what they say? Yeah, Wuthering Waves is better. But if you go to my 2 videos of me comparing the graphics of Endfield and Wuthering Waves, you will find a lot of comments saying, oh, a lot of comments coping, saying, oh, Wuthering Waves is not on max graphics. Oh, you didn't turn on ray tracing. You didn't turn on ray tracing, and ray tracing is very important. Like, Endfield also doesn't have ray tracing. Why are you finding excuses for Wuthering Waves? They are both at max graphics. Oh, no, they are not. You are lying. They are at max graphics. Oh, it's not fair because Endfield uses Unreal Engine 5. You have no idea how many comments I've got saying that it's unfair because Endfield uses Unreal Engine 5. The funny part is that Arknights does not use Unreal Engine 5 and they use Unity. They use Unity, which is the same engine Genshin uses. I mean, it's more updated and it's more customized. That's how they get all these graphics. But it's still Unity. And people still believe it's Unreal Engine 5. And then, when we talk about performance, they say Unreal Engine 5 is very hard to optimize, when Wuthering Waves is not even in Unreal Engine 5, so they don't even know what they are talking about. I've had comments, let me see if I can find them.
Just go ahead and waste your time.
Had comments saying, oh, you know, Unreal Engine 5 is very hard to optimize for. Brother, it's Unreal Engine 4, not 5. What are you on about? Let's see if I can find it. Here. Which one? Let me see if I can find it. No, it's not here. It's on the other one, I think. I think it's on this one. Let's see if I can find it. You are comparing Unreal Engine 4 versus Unreal Engine 5. None of these games uses Unreal Engine 5. You were used Unreal Engine 4 and Arknights uses Unity. WoWa is not at max settings. WoWa is on max settings. Let me get more. Let me get more. Okay. It's hard to stay objective and unbiased in those kind of comparisons, sure. Not to mention the difference of engine and size. Unity is just the king at this point. Yeah. WoWa seriously needs to work on performance for low-end users. True. And then this guy says Unreal Engine 5 and low-end devices is like you saying I can mix water and oil. We are not talking about Unreal Engine 5. He's assuming that Wuthering Waves is running on Unreal Engine 5. Here. And it's not. It's running on Unreal Engine 4. Let's try to see more. I know I've had more. Maybe on these replies, I think. Unreal. Let me see. Only engine the after customizing it. True. The engine is different. That's why. Why don't we see these people saying that, oh, engine is different when they are comparing Wuthering Waves? Open world is already harder to optimize than then they proceed to also use Unreal Engine. Yeah. Yeah, using Unreal Engine was a choice.
I think the Endman's catching some rest.
Time to remind me
Long
of that
distance
US
calls can get really tiring.
Judge Senate.
Let's
Have no
keep it down
idea
and
how
give the
Wi-Fi
Endman some
and
quiet time to
internet
unwind.
works. But yeah. I think I had some more replies that I couldn't find there, but as you can see, like people are trying to find excuses, and one of the biggest excuse, let me see if I find it, was that it's a lot harder to optimize and whatnot, right? Why are we not using that same excuse for Genshin? Well, Genshin is using a very outdated version of Unity. That's why it doesn't have as good of graphics as Wuthering Waves. Their art style also does not allow for a more detailed graphical style, because their art style is very simple compared to Wuthering Waves. And if you look at it from only an art style and art direction standpoint, Genshin is better than Wuthering Waves. Fortnite uses Unreal Engine 5 is more optimized than Bua. Yeah, that is true. Ancient Greek scholars might roll in their grave. But that's the thing. That's the thing. I think Genshin has a better art direction. You wanna know why? Because there's cohesion in their designs. Everything is equally bad. So it makes it actually good. Or we can say that it's equally good also. Not saying that it's bad per se, but it's equal. This rock, for example, this rock is as has a good of a texture as this plant. This plant has as good of a texture as this grass. This grass has a good of a texture as this machine. This machine has a good of a texture as this relay tower. Right? It's cohesive. It's cohesive. This rock has a good of a texture as this like other shiny rock and stuff like that. So cohesion is very important, and that's why a graphic style or some graphics look good even if they are not better. They look better even though like certain specific stuff is not better. Why? Because it's cohesive and it's easy on the eyes. In Wuthering Waves there are things that are very realistic, they are very good, and then you look at some other stuff and it's like very low poly or very low resolution. And that contrast makes it seem that it's not as good as it is. Genshin can do so much better than they have done good with Notcry. What? But wait, are you saying that they are doing good with Nordcry and they could have done it for other regions before that? Or are you saying that Nordcry is not good? Because I didn't quite understand. Because if you're saying that they could have done what they did with Nordcry for other regions, it's because when Nordcry launched, they updated the engine. That's why Nordcry looks better than the other regions, at least graphically, animation wise, and whatnot. Nordcry had an engine upgrade. They upgraded the engine when Nordcry released. That's why Genshin actually feels different after Nordcry. That's the reason. And they are going back and they are updating some older characters. You remember the Septimond event banners never fall? I don't remember actually. I'm saying that people criticizing the design of the characters is valid. Natlan is such a miss, you can hardly call it a good actual art direction. Yes, absolutely. But one thing is art direction, another thing is character design. Like what I'm talking about is the art direction of the actual stuff. For example, you can absolutely hate Levitane's design, right? But you cannot say that Levitane is more low poly or has worse quality than Gilbert over there. Right? You can absolutely hate this design, but you can't say that her quality is worse than Gilberta. The same can go for Genshin Impact. I absolutely hate the designs of Genshin Impact, of at least Natlan. I hate them. I don't like any character, and I hate that fucking region. I hate Natlan. I dislike it very much. But I cannot come here and say that the art direction or that Mavuika has worse quality than Furina, for example. I cannot objectively say that because it's not true. It's not true. I hate the design. The design is bad. And I hate the region. I hate the region itself is bad. And the actual design of the region, like the way you explore it, is bad. But the art direction and the quality of the art itself is not worse than 4.0. So that's what I was trying to say. I'm not trying to say that everything is like equally good. I'm not saying that Natlan is equally good to like Fontaine, because it's not. But in terms of story and everything, I'm just saying that in the graphical sense, which was what we were talking about. We were talking about graphics. Even story is better compared to that unknown region people kept calling Natlan, which I believe is true. Natlan does not exist. I don't know what that is. I have no idea what that is. Absolutely. But you were saying about the Sabino event banners never fall. I don't remember. I don't remember the name. Could write an essay about what? How you hate Genshin? You know I hate Genshin as much as you do. Especially Natlan. I absolutely hate Natlan. But while in Wuthering Waves, I just want you to understand. In Wuthering Waves, you look at the character and you say, wow, this character is very detailed. I can even show you the comparison video. You say, wow, this character is very detailed. But then you compare it to like something else, and that something else is very lowly detailed, and it ruins the immersion. For example, like the pop-in. And here, everything is cool. Then you look at this rock and it's very low poly. And has like low resolution. This rock over here. It breaks the immersion. While here, everything is cohesive. For example, even though Wuthering Waves looks amazing, having that low poly rock over there with like low textured grass makes it look worse. For example, here, the leaves are have better textures than Endfield, but then you don't have branches. Same here. While here, sure, the leaves here are not as detailed as the leaves here, but the full tree is as detailed as the leaves. While here, the leaves are extremely detailed, but then you don't have branches. Right? Let me see, there's where we compare like the rock. You can see here the character is very detailed. Characters are very detailed. Then you look at the rock and it's like, what the fuck is this texture? Right? This is at max settings. Ray tracing off. But this is max settings. Like here, characters is very detailed. Water is very detailed. And then you look at the ground and it's like this mess. Which I actually thought that WoWa had 3D textures. It doesn't. It's a 2D texture. Like terrain. Look, the leaves are very detailed, the grass is very detailed, the wet effects are amazing, but then you look at the ground and it's low texture. Right? Look at here. The character is hyper detailed, and then you leave footprints and everything, but the texture in the ground is absolute dog shit. And while here, sure, you don't have footprints, but the terrain is has as good of a texture and as good of a quality as the character. So it doesn't give the impression of being worse or better. It's seamless. And here are comparing shadows. Shadows in Wuthering Waves are, I think, are better than Arknights Endfield, absolutely. These are reflections without ray tracing. Obviously, with ray tracing, Wuthering Waves is better. Let me see more. Look at this low quality fucking window. Like, it's so blurred, and this is not the video. It's just blurred in game at highest settings. And someone was complaining of another game using a PNG while their windows look like that. Look, we have great wave effects, which it looks amazing, right? But then we have like these low poly like things and low render distance. Like, I think the water effects, not the water itself, I think the water texture, I prefer Enfield's, but the water effects of the ripples of the character walking, I think is better in Wuwa, but then it gets ruined by the low quality, like, what the fuck is that, this abhorrent shit over here, this focused, like, pixelated bunch of things over here. And it's not just the YouTube compression. Okay, for the character quality, we can argue which one is better. I think both of them are very, very, very good. I think both of them are very, very nice. Then we have water effects and stuff like that, but that's not like the focus of what I'm trying to say. It's more that, as you could see, Enfield is a lot more coherent, has a lot more of a coherent design, and therefore it looks better. And it's also very much like optimized compared to Wuthering Waves. And that's why people kept complaining, oh, it's unfair, it's unfair. WoW is not at max settings. WoW needs ray tracing. Brother, if you need ray tracing, like, then your graphics are not good. Ray tracing is a cheat code. It's not like a good, it's not a translation for good graphics. Ray tracing is a cheat code, and not everyone can run ray tracing. Like, a very small percent of people can run ray tracing. People can't even run WoW at like medium settings, and you're expecting people to actually play that game with ray tracing? That's just like not feasible. There's crying in surveys committed to WoW devs they can't play the game since the storage is too high. The devs drops a new peak. Yeah. Also that, People complain I can't play the game because it runs poorly, and I can't play the game because it uses too much space. What do? They increase the graphical settings, or like they add more details to graphics and more stuff to weight down the game, and add like big maps with nothing to do with them. It's just big map for being a big map. The offensive Bruno of not have better window than I believe it. It's not hard. And that's the thing. They keep pretending that Bua is like this amazing thing with no flaws. It has flaws. A lot of flaws. But yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to talk about. And I do have to leave. I wanted to talk more about more things, but I do have to leave because I have work. I have to leave to work because I am employed. Unfortunately, it is what it is. I am a job haver. But yeah, I kind of wish they actually would optimize the game. And I do have, and that's the crazy part, I have a pretty decent PC. I have a pretty good PC. It's not the best in the world, but I can run Cyberpunk at max settings, ray tracing off obviously, at 60 FPS, no problem. I can run, I was just playing the other day Monster Hunter Wilds, no problem, at 1440p, native, no problem. I am playing Resident Evil with ray tracing, no problem, and I'm streaming it. But whenever I play Wuthering Waves, I struggle to play. It's not smooth. I get 60 FPS, but it's not smooth at all. We have a picture of that PC and posted on YouTube as evidence. I have a 7800 XT. I have a Ryzen 7600, which it's not the best CPU, but it's also not the worst. I have 32 gigabytes of DDR5 RAM. And well, that's all you need to know. I have a decent PC. So why can't I run a gacha game at max settings? I mean, I can, because it doesn't change. If I run it at the lowest settings possible, the amount of FPS I get is the same as running it at max settings with no ray tracing. It's the exact same shit. It doesn't change because it caps at 60, and it feels as shit as playing at max settings. It just feels absolute dog shit. Like, it's not fluid at all. Friend, that not very tech savvy person, liar, pants on fine. Well, anyway, I'll see you next time because I really need to leave. Well, bye bye. Hope you liked it. Don't forget to subscribe. And tomorrow I'll probably play Resident Evil. So stay tuned for that.